UFC just announced 4 exciting new matchups for UFC 308 on October 26 in Abu Dhabi. It's looking pretty fucking exciting, and let's talk about them. Firstly, I do want to point out that a lot of people are actually kind of complaining about this. A lot of people are saying that some of these matchups are a bit undeserved, and to an extent I could agree, given, activity and who these guys have fought recently. But at the same time, it's like, why the fuck are you bitching? We're getting some good ass fights. We're getting top level contenders going against each other. You're getting what you fucking want. We're gonna see these guys have a chance to actually fucking prove themselves and see if they're legit or not. So, I think it's a win-win situation all in all. So, first let's talk about Magomed Ankalaev, number 2 ranked in the light heavyweight division, versus Alexander Rakic. This is pretty interesting. I think it's probably going to be for the number one contender. Some people were saying that Pereira should have fought Ankalaev a while ago, but other people are saying that for Ankalaev it'd be a bit undeserved. He did have a pretty close fight against Jan Blachowicz in 2022, so that's actually pretty crazy. It's almost been 2 years since Magomed Ankalaev has fought. So I guess, yeah, if we're talking about activity, yeah, he definitely hasn't been the best with that. But he's going against Alexander Rakic, who, although he lost his last fight against Yuri Prochazka in UFC 303, he still had a pretty good performance. He was doing pretty good, and I think he was winning the fight up until he gassed out. This is going to be pretty good. I'm probably going to pick Magomed Ankalaev by TKO. I think that just because he has the wrestling, that's going to be a really useful tool to use against Rakic. Then again, he only used it as a last resort against Jan Blachowicz and was trying to stand up with him at first. But ultimately, I do believe that Ankalaev is just more well-rounded than Rakic. I think Rakic definitely has good striking, good leg kicks. He's explosive as well. But I think that Ankalaev is probably going to gas him out, probably going to wear on him. If he's smart, he'll use his wrestling. He doesn't really submit people. So if he were being smart, I would pick Magomed Ankalaev by TKO wrestling in probably round 2 or 3. Next up, we have Ciryl Gane versus Alexander Volkov. Once again, people are saying that this is an undeserved fight for Ciryl Gane, because last time Gane fought was when he got choked out like a fucking bitch against John Jones in early 2023. After that, he's been just out doing side quests, shooting movies, fucking playing FIFA with his boys, all that shit. While Volkov has been pretty active. He had a really good fight against Sergey Pavlovich. He was able to really use his technical ability against him and nullify a lot of his power. So Volkov, honestly, I think Volkov could have fought for the title without having to fight Gane, but it is what it is. It's still going to be a good fight. We're going to be able to see out of these two who deserves to fight for the title. Not going to lie, I'm a bit undecided about this one. I think Volkov is a fairly well-rounded guy. Ciryl Gane was able to piece him up though on the feet, and he does have good stand-up. I guess if we're assuming that it's going to be the same Ciryl Gane that we saw... Actually, I stand corrected on that. Ciryl Gane, I believe, did fight after John Jones. Hold up, let me pull it up right now. My bad, I need to definitely fucking be more informed about this shit if I'm going to be doing reports on it. Ciryl Gane's last fight was against... Yeah, Sergey Spivak. After getting choked out like a bitch by John Jones, he fights Sergey Spivak in September of 2023. TKOs him with punches. Not bad, but Sergey Spivak obviously isn't really that fucking high level of an opponent in the heavyweight division, so... And he's definitely not no Alexander Volkov. But... right now I'm going to say Volkov by decision, just because he's looked better, he's looked more technical. I think that he's more well-rounded than Ciryl as well. I don't think, because Cyryl's been still fucking training in Paris, I don't think he's really improved his grappling too much, so I think we're more or less going to see the same Cyril Gane that we saw beforehand. I got Volkov by decision. Next up, we got Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. Another fight that people are saying is undeserved. You can literally look at it in the comments right here. Bro, Khamzat does not deserve Whittaker. I could honestly agree with that. Whittaker had a really dominant performance against Ikram Aliskerov, which, I mean, he is. I don't really think you could say that Whittaker or Chimaev and Aliskerov are on the same level, but I think it definitely shows that he's like at the top level of the middleweight division. Well, you have Khamzat Chimaev, who we haven't really seen too much of him. Last time he fought was the fucking Kevin Holland fight, which I believe was like in 2023 or 2022. But we have not seen too much of this guy. A lot of people are saying he kind of killed his own hype by just being so inactive. I mean, this guy literally went from like fighting 2 or 3 times in a month to basically fighting like once a fucking year. But let's look at this objectively. Whittaker has pretty good takedown defense. He has experience fighting in the Middle East as well. He has a lot of momentum as well. He has some good positive momentum after beating Ikram Aliskerov the way he did. He looked like he was pretty strong. He looked like he had some good solid power as well. He looked explosive. I guess honestly a big difference is that this isn't going to be a 5-round fight. This is going to be 3 rounds. So I think it definitely will favor Khamzat a bit more in that aspect. If it was 5 rounds, I would have easily picked Whittaker. Now that it's 3 rounds, I can't really say for sure because Khamzat might just fucking get a body triangle on Whittaker and just fucking use that to control him while he's gassed out for like 3 rounds. I'm hoping Bobby Knuckles can get it done. I'll pick Whittaker by decision. And lastly, people were waiting for this one for a while to get announced. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway for the featherweight championship. I'm on the fence with this one, honestly. I truly can't say. I truly can't give a solid, confident pick right now. I'm a bit back and forth on it. I think Holloway's obviously more experienced. I think he has good kickboxing in general, not just boxing. I think he obviously, you saw it in the Gaethje fight, and you've seen it in other fights as well. He has good spinning back kicks. I think the low kicks are going to be there for Holloway as well. I think that he'll definitely be able to use straight punches against Ilia Topuria's looping punches. Those are factors that'll definitely help him. But I think something that's working against him is that he's coming back down from lightweight, so he's going to have to cut a bit more weight. And I think Holloway's actually a pretty big dude. I mean, I don't know how favorable continuing to fight in featherweight would be for him, especially when he had so much success in lightweight. But and on top of that, he's going against the champion. You know, he's going to be cutting weight and going back down to fight the champion, Ilia Topuria, who just knocked out Volkanovski, who was also cutting weight. Obviously, you can't say that Volk and Holloway are the exact fucking same, but it is similar in the sense that they did go through weight cuts. I think Volk got knocked the fuck out by Islam. There is that. Holloway was taking shots from Gaethje, but was honestly able to weather the storm fairly well. So it gives me a bit of confidence in his chin. I think Topuria also has wrestling as well, though. Topuria's wrestling. I mean, if he definitely, even though he's young, he definitely seems mature enough to know where he's going to be strong and where he's going to be a bit more vulnerable. So I think you could definitely count on Topuria mixing it up and trying to use some takedowns on Holloway, changing levels here and there. Topuria has a solid calf kick as well. Holloway did end up switching his stances after getting calf kicked so much by Volk, so that way he wasn't as vulnerable to calf kicks, but who knows, we could see that. Topuria isn't as diverse as Holloway, I'll say that. I think he's definitely a bit more of a specialist. He has solid fucking boxing. His base was wrestling. His base was Greco-Roman wrestling, and he has some pretty good submissions as well. While Holloway is kind of like I said, Holloway's a bit more well-rounded, I would say. I think Holloway has good kickboxing. He has head kicks, body kicks, leg kicks. Along with the boxing, he can mix it up and throw some elbows here and there. He has good neck attacks. He isn't really an offensive wrestler per se, but he does threaten with submissions, and he can be pretty handy and crafty with those. I'm going to be undecided on this for now. I'm not even gonna pick on this right now, bro. I can't say, seriously. It's gonna be a good fucking fight. I think we got a good main event. We got a good co-main. We got some good feature fights as well. Some people are saying that it's very controversial as to whether or not some of these guys deserve their fights. But regardless, we got some good name value fights going on and got a good fucking card. UFC 308, as long as none of these guys pull out and get any injuries, which I hope the UFC would plan for that just in case, but fucking bulk fights at heavyweight. But it looks like it's going to be a good card. I'm looking forward to it.